if I compare slot 1, 2, 3, I believe slot 2 have a slight advantage over the slot 1 and slot 3. Slight advantage. Trust me, it's not a big deal at all. Fine. Most of the time आपको फर्क भी नहीं पड़ेगा. अमीर आदमी को फर्क नहीं पड़ता. अमीर मतलब those scoring more than 80, 100 marks, they're least bothered about the slot 1, 2, 3. Okay. Those who are गरीब आदमी उसकी वैसी फटी पड़ी है, उसको क्या फर्क पड़ता है, ये यहाँ मारो वहाँ मारो. Slot 2 have the advantage because they will come to know the number of question immediately. So slot 1 wala will go in and the main bakra नहीं बोलने का, main students, they will go in and tell us the number of questions, exact number of questions. They will tell us the level of difficulty. So slot 1 have that advantage for us, for slot 2 people, that will come to know the paper pattern. Fine. Slot 3 also have the same advantage, but the problem is slot 3 wala will get 3-4 hours. See, अगर तुम्हारा कटना है ना तो अभी काटो, don't delay. Interview is not scary. The wait you are doing outside the interview hall is the most scary thing. Okay, so that's the problem with the slot number 3. You are putting too much stress into that. What if happen? What that happen? What will that happen? Fine. Don't try to predict the difficulty level because slot 1 will be slightly different from slot 2, will be slightly different from slot 3. So I don't want to comment on the level of difficulty because it's going to change. And again, it depends on individual to individual. आपको slot किसी का maths weak है तो उसके लिए maths weak है. So difficulty wise I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the psychological advantage which slot 2 have. I know number of questions are 60. Boom, this is going to be my strategy. Quant is comparatively more difficult. So mentally prepared, done. Go for the exam. But if you're in slot 3, you will put too much time. That's a disadvantage of slot 3. Slot 1 have their own advantages. ठीक है, पहले जाके खेल लो तो उसके एडवांटेज अलग होते हैं. That you are just going with the flow. So those who are going for slot 1, break your paper into timer. 20 minutes first set, 20 minutes second set. Whatever the number of question, I will break into half and I'll do half of the question. I look at half of the question in slot 1 in first 20 minutes and half of the question second slot. So irrespective of number of questions, my attempt will automatically get adjusted because my timing is my main strategy, not the number of questions. Because earlier 34 questions used to be there, we could strategize. Here we can't strategize. So slot 1, go with the time flow, bingo. Slot 2, you have advantage. Slot 2, for example, if you see T20 match, anybody who plays second have a slight advantage because they have the target set. ठीक है, इतना मारना है, आराम से they can strategize, ये पहले करना है बाद में करना, and they can survive. So that's the advantage of slot number 2. Slot number 3 has the same advantage, but because of the delay in the exam, because of too much question marks, too much thinking, it can have a slight backfire, back from the 1 mark. Instead of getting 75, I might get 74 marks. Fine, but trust me guys, these small things does matter. And please watch my video after slot number 1. I'll be going live from the center. Why? Because you need to know the number of questions, or you need to know if there is any major change. Of course, I'm not going to solve the questions. I'm not going to give you questions because they will not help. But the pattern help. CET में they completely change the paper pattern. Completely, मतलब 100% change, upside down. So those who have not watched the video because sir video देख के मेरे को stress आता है, this and that, they were under a lot of stress because I can fine tune the strategy at the last moment. Suppose something goes haywire. For example, just imagine CAT में they remove the sectional timing. So you can do maths whenever you want to do start with maths, you start with maths, verbal, you can switch between section. The moment they allow you that, I have to change my strategy immediately. Or they might introduce 2 marks questions. So any kind of a eventuality, I should be prepared for that. Alright, so slot 2 have a slight advantage, but otherwise no major difference at all. Go with the flow, go with the timer set. You have given enough marks to finalize your strategy and just follow and focus on your strategy. All the best.